Hey guys, there was an article in today's Telegram that really ties together a lot of the points I've been trying to make about my frustrations with Clarksburg. Um, the article mentioned that the mustard seed is now serving meals at 4 times the pre-pandemic rate, and that families are under a lot of stress. Um, and I believe as I talk, you'll come to understand why I think that there's a failure to think 2 or 3 steps ahead and just deal with things at a surface issue that is counterproductive. And it's kind of caused by just a failure to understand basic economics. One of the things that the article mentioned was that families are facing pressure by housing costs. Housing prices, rent prices, are a function of supply and demand. The demand side has been increased all across the United States, across the world, really, by the inflationary policies of central banks, our Federal Reserve. The supply side locally has been constricted by the demolition program. We've demolished at least 1,000 homes over the last decade, and I don't think any unbiased observer could say that a lot of them were actually decent homes and that we lost. At least one councilman during the last election laughed about demolishing houses for water being turned off. And you know, some on our council demonized previous code inspectors, but still approved the demolition lists that they claimed were motivated by politics rather than code violations. Demolishing good homes raises the cost of rent because it constricts the supply. And you don't increase your property values. Nobody's property values in Clarksburg have been helped by the demolition program if it produces homelessness and vagrancy, which it is. The other thing the article mentioned was transportation costs are rising. People can't afford to own automobiles anymore and operate automobiles. You know, the war in Russia and the Ukraine has raised price of oil a lot. There's been a microchip chip shortage that's caused new cars not to be built fast enough. It's getting harder and harder to own a car. But you know, we have bus lines, we have mass transit. Instead of making it easier for people to use it, perhaps by expanding hours, expanding service out to the employment centers from our inner city, we actually made it harder by demolishing the shelter. It was so backwards in its thinking. My frustration is that I think a lot of people in town, most of our council, have a dream of having this postcard, perfect, picture perfect downtown, and they have absolutely no idea of how to get there. We continue to do counterproductive things that's driven more by anything but understanding economics and urban revitalization. We can't afford to keep going like this. The problem's just going to keep getting worse and compound. If we haven't already passed the point of no return, we're getting close. I'll holler at you later.